What's up guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. This is the CopyTrader channel where I review Forex bots, prop firm passing services, and most importantly, Forex Signal services. Now I've been testing Forex Signal channels for about 6 months. I've been testing different Forex Signal channels for about 6 months now publicly on my Instagram, and I'm testing about 20 different channels right now simultaneously with the help of my Telegram Signals copier software. Even though I've been making content for a while, this is my first YouTube video, and in this video I'm going to be showing you guys the July performance results for over 20 different signal providers. At the end of the video, I'll show you a new reverse feature that the copier has, how I'm planning to use it, and then I'll have some important announcements to make. So without further ado, let's get right into the first provider. To go through all these providers, I'm going to start off with the best performances of the month and then kind of work my way backwards, going towards the worst performances of the month. And I'm going to explain at the end of the video why I think we can still use the worst signal providers and make money with them. But before we get into the first provider, I want to show you guys that this is what the inside of the Telegram Signals copier looks like. This software right here is what allows me to automatically copy trades from a bunch of different signal channels to my accounts, hands-free, without me having to do anything. And so this is what it looks like, and you guys can see these accounts are obviously losing a lot of money. Fortunately, this is a demo account, so don't worry about that. And the other thing to note is that every single demo signal provider that I'm reviewing, that I'm going to cover today, I'm risking $100 per trade on every single one of these providers. So when you guys see the results, this is, for instance, I know it says a gain of only 1.6%, but it's actually a 16% gain because the risk is $100 per trade, and we're up about $1,600. So yeah, without further ado, let's get into the first provider. So this is the Finesse FX trading group. And a lot of you guys have probably seen the dude, Harrison Sullivan, I think is his name. He owns this group, he runs it, and he's got huge followings on Instagram and TikTok. He posts a lot of videos that look like this. Anyway, he offers 2 different signal channels, and this is the first one. And I've only been testing it for like a week, the last week of July, and it has done absolutely fantastic. Like, that's a almost 17% gain is crazy for just a week. But they take a lot of trades. Like, this is just a week's worth of trades right here. You guys can see all the trades they're taking. But yeah, so let's go and see what that channel looks like. Next up is the Sureshot FX signal group. Now, this signal group has been a little bit up and down. I've tested them before, but for the month of July, they had a gain of 9%, $900, again, risking $100 per trade. So 9% gain there. And if you want to include the trades that they still have open, it was actually a 10.5% gain because they have another 1.5% in open trades. Going down here, it looks like they don't have very good risk to reward on their trades usually, but they seem to win a lot. So good month of July for Sureshot FX. I'll show you guys the Telegram channel. So this is their Telegram channel. It's pretty much 100% copier friendly, which is great. They take a lot of partials, but again, they've been profitable for this month. Next up is a group called XAUUSD. That's the name of the group. They are up about 3.5%. We have $350 of combined open and closed trades running right now. That's not a whole month. That's not a whole lot for the month of July, but those of you guys who have been following me for a while, you know I've reviewed this group before, and they're usually pretty profitable. Also, those of you in the VIP group, my VIP group, which I'll talk about more later, I've been backtesting this channel this weekend to find the perfect settings configuration for this group, and I'll be sharing that with you guys on Monday. Now, this is what the XAUUSD group looks like. It's mostly copier friendly. They usually have anywhere from 2 to 3 take profits. Again, mostly copier friendly. Sometimes they trade Bitcoin, but just looking at the back tests that I've been running, they are a lot more profitable on gold than they are in Bitcoin, and they usually trade gold. Like, most of their trades come on gold. But yeah, this is their Telegram channel. Next up is BTFX. They're up about 2.5R for the month. Now, this group, I do really like their trading style. They use really good risk to reward, and they only use 1 take profit. I'll show you guys in their channel what that looks like. So this is an example of one of their trades right here. You can see they include just like a lot of words in their trade signal, which is kind of annoying. And they also use 2 different entry points, which you have to configure with the copier. So that caused a few copier issues for me this month, which means that if you got different results from me, don't be too surprised because they would vary a little bit. I'll try to keep them consistent next month. But you guys can see they use really good risk to reward on their trades, and they only have 1 take profit. These are characteristics that we look for in a signal provider. Next up is Limitless FX. Now, this group I have is plus 3.5R for the month, but this group, your results are definitely going to vary, especially if you're following them manually, because they are not 100% copier friendly, and the people who follow them manually are kind of getting a lot better results than I am. So hopefully I can convince them to become more copier friendly, but in the meantime, I'll show you what their channel looks like. So this is what their trades look like. They use 3 take profits, and my strategy with these take profits is I close 20% here, I close 40% here, and I close the remaining 40% right here. This is how their admin advised me to take profits on these trades. And you can see that this take profit 2 and take profit 3 especially have really good risk to reward. A 35 pip stop loss with 120 pip take profit. That's really good. So when they do hit that full take profit, you can see it ends up being a pretty good win. But yeah, this channel is not 100% copier friendly. So if you're somebody who likes to follow signals manually, you'll definitely do better with this channel than I do, and you probably would have had a better month of July than I did. Now, Sureshot FX minus 0.5 R for the month, our first negative provider that I'm covering, but I think this provider has a lot of potential. If I scroll up here to their chart, you can see that they have some really good runs in here, and they do use good risk to reward on their trades. It's just they go into periods of drawdown like right here and right here that seem to negate everything, which is unfortunate. But I'll show you guys their channel. It's 100% copier friendly. So this is their channel. Again, it's 100% copier friendly, and they use really good risk to reward on their trades. It looks like they're using a MT4 to Telegram software. So every time they take a trade, it'll automatically be sent into the Telegram channel like this. And what that means is that all of the trades that they're sending, they're also taking, which is always a good sign. And yeah, again, they use good risk to reward. I think this is a pretty solid channel. They just had one or 2 weeks where they had some drawdown, and that led to about a break-even month. But I'm going to keep testing this group. I look forward to seeing what they've got for August. Next up is SE Academy. Now this is a really popular signal provider. They use really good risk to reward on the trades, even though they have 3 take profits. I'll show you guys their channel in a second. Now, on the month for closed trades, they're down 1.5 R because, again, we're always risking $100 per trade on every provider, and they're down $150. But they have $300 in open trades. Now, whether you can count this towards their monthly gain or not, I don't really think so, but it's a good sign, and if you were counting it, they would be profitable for the month. I'll show you guys their history. Now, you guys can see they have a lot of losses, but their wins, at least the 3 of them that they have for the month, they're much bigger than their losses, even with 3 take profits. Sorry, that was tough to get out, but I'll show you guys the Telegram channel so you can see what I'm talking about. So this is an example of one of the trades. Now, this is a lot of what we look for in a signal provider. First off, it's completely copier friendly, which is great. They have a very tight stop loss of just 10 pips, and they've got huge risk to reward. So even though they have 3 take profits, which is usually kind of a red flag for me, the risk to reward more than makes up for it. 1 to 6 R at just the first take profit is crazy, and then we have 1 to 11 R, and then they have a 3rd take profit, which is left open for swing. I'm pretty sure I have this closing automatically at 1 to 15 R, I think it is, or maybe 1 to 20 R. But anyway, so this is a solid looking group. All they need to do is just win every once in a while. They haven't hit a trade, hit their take profit 2 yet. The 3 wins I just showed you guys, those were all from take profit 1. So even at their first take profit, they're averaging about a 2.5% gain per trade. So hopefully next month we'll see some more wins from them and they'll become a profitable group. Fast and Easy is another potentially really good signal provider, but they have not traded a lot this month because I'll show you their channel in a second. Apparently the provider's had some health issues, but one really, I guess, about break even for the month, and then 1 open trade that's still running in a pretty decent profit. But yeah, about break even for Fast and Easy. I'll show you guys their channel. So this is their channel. This is, had some health problems for the last few days and some time to recover. So they haven't taken very many trades at all this month, but when they do, this is what they look like. They do have pretty good risk to reward, 1 to 4 with just 1 take profit. That's really good, and obviously this is a copier friendly entry. So I look forward to keep testing this group. Hopefully they end up being profitable. Next up is Pips Nation. Now, a lot of you guys have probably seen the dude who runs this channel. He makes a lot of videos that look like this. He's kind of a Forex guru. But his channel, even though it uses 3 take profits, has been pretty profitable historically. Unfortunately, this wasn't their best month. They're sitting at about break even. I'll show you guys the Telegram channel. So this is their Telegram channel. He just added a new provider. So he sends trades that are usually US 30, and then the other provider sends trades that are gold. Now he uses 3 take profits, his other provider uses 4, and that usually does not lead to very good results. But he's had profitable months historically. It's just that July was about break even for him. But yeah, copier friendly channel, this is what it looks like. Now let's get into the worst 3 groups of the month. First up is Forex RR. Now this group I have tested several different times, and each time they never stay profitable for very long. For July, they're down 7.5%. They do have a little bit of profit in open trades. So I guess you could say they're down about 5.5, down 6%, but never once have I tested them for the period of a month and they've been profitable. Now, groups like this, I still think we can use, and I'll explain why here in a second. But first, let's go over the other two groups that have been the worst of the month. Next up is Partis. This group was down 10% for the month, so this would have lost you your... Next up is Partis. This group was down 10% for the month, so really not a good performance. It is a copier-friendly group, and they have decent risk to reward. They just don't win their trades. So we got mostly losses coming in here, and the wins just don't make up for it. So minus 10%. Lastly, we have Easy Forex. Now, this group I have actually been testing for a while, and they've done very, very poorly. So what I ended up doing was I activated this feature in the copier that I'll show you here in a second, and I reversed all of their trades. And for about a month, they were really, really profitable with all of their trades reversed, meaning buys or sells and sells or buys, and they gained about 13, 14% in that month. Now, this month, still using the reversed strategy, they did obviously terribly, minus 17%. So if I would have just taken their trades like normal for this month, they obviously would have been really profitable. But this is probably not a provider that I think we can use. Because if a provider is consistently good or consistently bad, we can use them. If they're consistently bad, we can reverse their trades. Unfortunately, if a provider is just inconsistent, sometimes they're good, sometimes they're bad, we can't really use them at all. And that's what I've seen from Easy Forex. I'm going to keep testing them in this reverse method so we can see how they do, but I don't think this is a provider that we're going to be able to use, unfortunately. Now let's talk about the reverse feature I keep talking about in my Telegram signals copier. So this feature is the biggest reason why I think we can still use providers that are consistently not profitable. So if we have a provider who just loses and loses and loses continuously, we can actually use this feature to flip their trades and turn buys into sells and sells into buys. So let me explain how it works. First off, if you want this Telegram signal copier, you need to understand that this takes the pro version of the copier, not the basic package. It costs like an extra $30 per month or something for the pro version that has this feature. Now you can see that they have two different reverse strategies here. Here's one, and then here is the second one. Okay, it's not highlighting, but here's how they're different. So in this first one, it'll change buys into sells and sells into buys, but it'll keep the same stop loss value and pip counts. So for instance, it'll take this trade with like a 30 pip stop loss and a 50 pip take profit, flip it, but the stop loss will still be 30 pips and the take profit will still be 50 pips. So the values on the charts are different. Now this second feature I like better because what this does is it flips the buys into sells and sells into buys, but it keeps the values the same and changes the pip count. So it'll take this trade, flip it, and turn it into this trade over here. Now the values in the charts are the same. So the stop loss, if the stop loss was 50 pips and the take profit is 30 pips like it says here, well now the stop loss is going to be 30 pips and the take profit will be 50 pips. So if that trade originally would have hit the stop loss, it'll now hit the take profit for us. I like this feature much more. I'm going to be using it. This is what I'm going to be using for Easy Forex. But what this means is that if we get signal providers who over the course of several months just continuously lose and lose, we can actually use this signal provider and use this feature to make money off of that unprofitable signal provider. Now I'm going to show you guys the July results of the 4 signal providers that I use on my live account. But before I do that, I want to show you guys the results of the latest back test I did using my Telegram signals copier software. Now this back testing is one of the features that I have for my VIP group. My VIP group is linked in my bio. And if you want to see the full description of what that includes, check the pinned message in my free Telegram. But what this back testing feature is awesome. It's part of the copier software, but it's really expensive. You have to pay for it. It's like this extra software. But what it does is it can back test the results of a Telegram signal months and months and months, back testing hundreds of signals automatically. And you can adjust the settings to kind of find the perfect settings combination for a certain Forex signal channel. So these results right here are over the course of about 6 months, 5 to 6 months, so most of 2023. You can see them over here, and it's a pretty steady increase in profit right here, which is exactly what we want to see. We don't want to see any of this kind of up and down because that shows a lot of inconsistency. This is a really solid return, and this max return up here is at $5,500. Now, because this is demo and the backtesting is done on a demo account, this is risking $100 per trade. And so what that means is over the course of 5 months, this provider made a gain of about 55%, which is absolutely phenomenal. Now, in my VIP group, I'm going to be sharing the information on this provider, and I'm going to be sharing the settings codes I use to get these results. I'm also going to be backtesting another one of the channels that I just showed you guys in the recaps. and sharing that information with my VIP. So if you want access to these back tests, I do usually 1 to 2 every week for my CopyTrader VIP group. They're not always profitable. That's just how it goes. But when they are profitable, I share the results with my VIP group, and I share the exact settings configuration that I use to get these results, so that you're going to be using the exact same settings that I use to do the back testing. And I also show you guys what the provider is, how to access the provider, sometimes at a discount, all of that good stuff. Now, like I said, I share 1 to 2 of these back tests a week with my CopyTrader VIP group. My CopyTrader VIP group is linked in my bio. It's not expensive. It's only $13 a month. Now, you certainly don't have to use it. I provide a lot of free content for you guys that is super valuable. It's by no means necessary to join for you to get value from my content. So if you want to stick with just the free stuff, love it. That's great. Feel free. But if you want to access these back tests, the link is in my bio. All right, now that I'm done with the advertising, let's get into the 4 signal providers that I'm using on my live accounts. So in this video, I'm not going to show you guys like my live accounts and the profits and all that, but I am going to show you guys the channels of each of the providers. So first, we're going to start with Black Forex. Now, Black Forex took 12 trades this month. I'm going to list them over here on the left. They were profitable, and they are, Black Forex is a lot of what we really want to see in a signal provider. Their entries are copy friendly. They use 1 take profit, and they have great risk to reward in their trades. Now, usually they're not letting it run and hit the full take profit of like 1 to 12. Usually they close it early at around like 3 to 4R, but since they never take partials, their wins, as you can see over on the side here, they're more than making up for their losses. So this was a profitable month for Black Forex, plus 8.5R. If you guys are in their free channel, the results they share in their free channel I found to be pretty much almost like honest. Like if they say they got a certain amount on a trade, almost always they did. There was one exception that was, they got stopped out for me, but that was probably due to spreads. Some people would not have gotten stopped out. So yeah, honest channel. It's good to see. That's Black Forex for the month. Next up is Droid. Now, Droid I've been testing for a long time, and this is probably the hardest working signal group that I've ever seen. They send huge analysis with all of their trades. I'm gonna go try to find one of their trades for you guys. Come on. Yeah, but you guys can see just like this is all like analysis. Okay, here's one of the trades. So this is like the actual trade entry. It's copy friendly. It uses just 1 take profit, and it's got great risk to reward. And then they send a bunch of like analysis for all of their basically the trade management, and they send a lot of fundamental analysis. It's a great channel. Anyway, for this month they took 3 trades. Here are 2 of them. 2 of them hit their take profits for a combination of 8%, and then the third trade, I'm not going to try to find it, but it hit break even. So plus 8% for Droid. They've been kind of back and forth for the start of 2023, so it's great to see them have a really profitable month. They were profitable last month too, so 2 back-to-back really good months for Droid. Next up is Forex. Now, Forex actually just had his first losing month since I've been reviewing him. I've been testing him since like February of 2023. It's been like 5 or 6 months, and he's a really consistent signal provider. I talk with him a lot. I've worked with him to make his channel completely copier friendly, and it is now completely copier friendly, which is great. But yeah, so minus 1R for him. That was his results this month. And if we go to his free channel, we can see the results dating all the way back to his first weeks of sending signals back in 2022. Now, a lot of people ask me, are these results legitimate? Yes, Forex is always honest about the results he shows. Now, results will always vary just a little bit based on which broker you're using, because sometimes you may occasionally get stopped out by spreads where your signal provider doesn't, and the vice versa. But for the most part, you can trust these results. He doesn't try to manipulate you with these. And yes, he has had a 64.5% gain since he first started sending signals. So yeah, that's Forex for you guys. Just had their first losing month of minus 1. Now, Rogue Snipers I've also been testing for a while. This is the 4th provider who's been on my live account for about 2 months now. And after a not great first half of July, he really picked it back up, and I ended the month in profits. Now, I'm closing all of his trades at 2R. So first off, let me explain how he shows results. So these results are honest, but here's how they work. He gives you a take profit, and then these trades are not the result of them hitting their take profit. These trades demonstrate how far into profit the trade ran before it reversed and hit the stop loss. So for example, the take profit here was probably at about 4R, not 2R, but the trade ran to 2R before reversing. Here, the trade did not hit the take profit, but it ran to 1R before reversing. Here, the trade hit the full take profit of 4R. Here, obviously, we got stopped out. Here, the trade ran to 2R before reversing. So that's how if you guys are in his free channel and he's sending his results, his results are like honest, like this is how far the trades are actually running, but they're not all hitting their take profit. So make sure you keep that in mind when you're looking at his results. Anyway, my trade management strategy on Rogue Snipers is I'm closing every single trade at 2R. If it hits 2R, I get a 2% gain. If it doesn't, I lose 1%. That's how it works. And so for me, I'm going to show you guys all of the trades that he's taken. I think there's 28 of them this month, and these are how far each one is ran before reversing. So remember, not all of these have hit take profit. This is just how far each trade has ran before reversing. So if you're using Rogue Snipers and you got a different management style, this is a good way to look at your trades. So yeah, that's his performance for the month. He is copier friendly. I've worked with him too. I'm making his channel copier friendly. And yeah, he does recommend that you close his trades at 2R. That's how he does it himself. So if you guys are looking into using Rogue Snipers, that's how he recommends you go about it. But yeah, that's the performance for the month of my 4th live signal provider. So each provider I just showed you guys has a unique settings configuration that I'm using in the copier. So if you're using the trade copier, you know what this looks like. You have to adjust the settings in here to find basically the best configuration to maximize the profits of your providers. Now, I've done what I think is the best configuration. I found that for each of the providers I just showed you guys. And one of the great things about this copier is it can organize this settings configuration into a code. And I'll show you guys how to access that code. So I just go into the settings here, click on settings, and I go to share code. Now this is the code that you guys can use to actually automatically get all of my settings for yourself. All you have to do is you just copy this code right here, and then you go into your own Telegram signals copier. Let's say you want let's say you want these settings. What you're gonna do is you're gonna go over to this settings icon over here, click on settings, and you'll click on import code. Now you just paste my code, click on import, and you'll automatically have all of the settings that I'm using for this provider in your own trade copier account. So if I go in here, I just imported the code, right? You guys can see it's still got all the keywords I need because that is what the code is set up to do. Now, if you want access to my codes, they're linked in my bio. There is a small fee for the codes. It's $4 a month. You certainly don't have to use it. You guys are more than welcome to come up with your own settings and configurations yourself. But if you want the exact settings I'm using to get all of the results that I just showed you, good and bad, that's how you get my codes. If you subscribe to that link, it'll give you access to a document that has all the settings codes listed in alphabetical order. So just thought I'd point that out to you guys who are using the trade copier. If you want to use my codes, that's how you do it. So this wraps up my first ever YouTube video. I hope you guys enjoyed it and got some value out of it. I covered like 20 different signal providers, their entire performances for all of July. I'm gonna try to start posting content like this more often so I can show you guys like what these signals look like more in depth. I'm probably not going to go over quite so many providers every single time, but I am going to start posting more regularly on YouTube. Now, if you want to stay updated weekly on how each providers are doing, because all of these providers I'm going to keep reviewing into August. If you guys want the weekly updates, make sure you join my free Telegram channel because I post the results in there every single week. It's not long form content like this. It actually looks like this. This is last week's results. But if you want to stay updated weekly, make sure to join my free Telegram. So make sure to hit the like if you got some value from this video, and make sure to hit subscribe if you want to see more videos like this in the future. I don't know what the next one will be about, and I don't know when it will be, but I will be posting more YouTube content for you guys. So I'll see you in the next video.